Okay, thank you very much for checking in. Chapter test tomorrow, you're actually looking at your test. I'm going to quickly preview it, give you a chance to study, take notes, solve questions, look up, ask questions. Kind of like having an open test for the whole night to work on. Find the slope of the line. Your 2 points are here. Remember, slope is rise over run. This will be your rise, this will be your run. Make sure you realize when you're counting down negative, to the right positive, make it a rise over a run. Question 2, 77 out of 121 dentists. You're going to have to look carefully and figure out what number can be divided into there. 77, hint, either try 11 or 7. Don't forget your unit. Question 3, 85 men, 110 women, reduce it, divide by 5. If it needs to go any more than that, you should be able to see. Question 4, express the rate of 315 miles in 6 hours as a unit rate. All it is miles per hour. Put your 315 on top, divided by 6. Calculator can do the work on that. Question 5, what's a better buy? Don't get the simple idea that 950 is cheaper than 1460. It wants it as what's a better buy in terms of I'm going to use up what I have. So you want 1460 divided by 36, then 950 divided by 24. Which one's a better buy per box? Question 6 and 7. Find the table shows the total number of tickets sold at a gate by each time shown. Find the rate of change in tickets between 5:15 and 5:20. Realize there's no negative time. So I have to put 5:15 minus 5:20. That'll lock in my 47 minus 27 on top. You're going to want to divide that out of how much you're selling per minute eventually. Same thing, 6 o'clock on bottom, minus 5:35. That will lock in your numbers in the right order. You cannot have negative time. Question 8. Points in the table, lie on a line. Find the slope of the line and graph it. First of all, just take your points. Go graph -4, -1. That's your first point. Then take -1, 1. There's your second point. 2, 3. Then your third point was 2, 3, then 5, 5. Don't forget, X is first, that's left to right. -4 means 4 to the left. -1 means 1 down. 5, 5 will be 5 to the right and 5 up. Also, you're going to want to look at your rise over your run. You can get that off of your graph when it's completed. Or it is change in Y over change in X. That's looking at this. How do I get from a 3 to a 5? How do I get from a 2 to a 5? And then you'd have your change in Y over your change in X. Question number 9. I found this one slightly confusing because when we talk about this question, we would be saying miles per gallon. So when you do this, make sure you look at it carefully, that it looks like they're making it nice and easy. There's your intersecting points. Just make sure you kind of flip this idea around though, miles per gallon. 10 and 11, you've done a ton of these. Let's just set up one. 8D equals 5 times 36. That's using cross products. 8 times D, 5 times 36. Get that number and divide each one by 8 then. You're going to use your calculator. Question 12. If a person's heart rate beats 96 times in 60 seconds, how many times is it beating 45 seconds? So you're going to have 96 beats in 60 seconds, times always bottom. Then I have beats per second. That'll lock in your 45 on bottom. Flipping to the back page. Question 11. Slide it down so you can see. Determine whether the pair of polygons is similar. Explain your reasoning. That's where you got to set up 1. And make sure that when you do this, you're consistent. You should be comparing. I should have, since I have 1 on top, I'm going to put 2 on bottom because that's a similar one. Since 1 went on top, 2 also goes on top, the other 2, and then 4 goes on bottom. So when I compare this, If they're equal, I write yes. If they're not equal, I write no. Question 14. I'm locking in. I'm telling you that I want you to use x on top. X as a twin, 5. 9 as a twin, you got to go find it. Solve. Question 15. 1 inch equals 240 miles. That's your scale. You're going to use that every time. So I'm going to have 1 inch, 240 miles. Gave you kind of a tricky one here, 1/8. 1/8, kind of one that you probably wouldn't know, so I'm going to quickly have to solve it as well. 1 divided by 8 gives me 0.125, but you have to put inches over miles. Make sure when you solve this, you have to put 0.125 up here. And don't forget, 1 times x is 1x, equals 240 times 0.125. Just like you did on the first questions on the front page when you did question 10 and 11. Same thing here. It's going to be 1 inch over 240 miles equals 2.75 inches over x miles. 17. These are the questions we did lots of drawings on. You have to be consistent setting up. When you set this up, you want the height of the tree as x, height of the person's 4. So you should do heights together. X over 4 equals shadows, 14 over 2, 5. You will solve from there. You can use a calculator. 18. Statue casts a shadow 25 foot long. A boy standing next to the statue is 4.5 feet tall. Casts a shadow that's 3.6 feet tall. How tall is the statue? Draw yourself a statue. Put a shadow. Draw yourself a person. Put a shadow. Label your points. 19. A polygon, MNOP, has vertices. Listing all of them. I changed it. Made it a little easier. Scale factor 3. That's going to be an enlargement. All you do, just like we did on our worksheet today, if it's a scale factor of 1/3, you divide by 3 on each of these. If it's a scale factor of 2, 4, or 3, or anything like that, multiply them. And number 20, I almost took this one off because when I did it, I was looking very carefully, trying to figure out, okay, which one do I want to pick? You're allowed to pick D, E, or F. And you can pick any one of the ones, X's or Y's. First of all, when I look, my original is the big one. My original is this large one. And if I go down to here, that means it's getting smaller. It should mean automatically reduction. Now, if you pick D, give me its address. D has an address of 0,3 here, 0,5 here. And you're going to want to kind of double check it with E and F. It'll all come out the same. Get addresses for X and for Y. And if it's a number that's larger than 1, it's an enlargement. If it's a number less than 1, it should be a reduction. Don't forget, your D dilated would go on top, original D goes on bottom. That'll help you out. Or if you pick E, E dilated top, E original on bottom. Same thing with F, F dilated on top, F original on bottom. Also throwing it out there, that time of the year, if you want to get extra credit tomorrow, don't do a whole lot of extra credit. You got this question to solve. Ooh, that's hard. Or I'm giving 1 point for each canned good or anything that you bring in for our food drive. 1 point each for up to 5 items. So make sure you check with your parents first, but I can give you a maximum 5 points for bringing in anything tomorrow during test day, up to 5. Thanks a lot. Study up your test, pause it, solve your questions, look back, ask questions. Your video is just about 9.5 minutes, so that will give you an opportunity to see exactly what is on your test.